Hello, beautiful people. Glad you blessed me with your time today. I hope you're in a happy mind state. Um, in this video, I want to kind of talk about something, but let me ask you a question real quick. Have you ever come across two things that once it comes together, it's just like mind-blowing? You know what I mean? I have an example. I have a confession to make actually here. So, a friend of mine, and I'm not paid, I wasn't paid to sponsor this or anything like that, but a friend of mine, I don't like Oreos, okay? And I don't really care for toffee, but I don't know how to explain this. But a friend of mine gave me some Oreos. These are toffee, I don't know if you can see it, toffee, let me show you, toffee crunch Oreos. And you guys are lucky because so we was getting high. I'm just gonna be honest here. We were getting high, and they offered me some. And when you're high, you kind of like you're hungry, you got the munchies, whatever. You're not gonna really turn down too much food. But they offered me one of the Oreos. I tried it, and man, this shit is amazing. Again, I don't like Oreos. I don't like toffee too much. But again, it's for some reason or another when you put the flavor together, it's really amazing. So you guys are lucky because I have a confession, like I said, and if the person's watching this video, I hope they aren't mad. But they let me try it, and I end up still, not realizing, but I end up taking the whole pack of Oreo cookies, and I was gonna bring it back, being honest, being a good Samaritan, and I end up eating the whole pack. That's how good these things are. Again, I'm not paid to say this or anything, but you guys are lucky because I did say one cookie, and I just want to kind of show you here. Have you ever eaten an Oreo? Can anybody who's eaten an Oreo cookie, can you ever split the Oreo apart without it like breaking on you? I don't know, but it broke on me here, so I just want to kind of show you. So normally Oreo cookies have like white filling in them and stuff, but this is kind of like brown. It's really good. I mean, for some reason, I don't know how they do it, like science or whatever, but when they put the cookie in this brown cream stuff, it's just like really, really amazing. I don't know, maybe I'm just high and that's just my, high food for the day, but this shit is so fucking amazing. So, with that being said, in today's video, I want to kind of talk to you guys about, if you're ever in a situation, or you're in a situation, and wow, these cookies are so fucking amazing. I wish you could taste what I'm tasting right now. Wow. But anyway, so in today's video, I want to kind of talk to you about what do you do, okay? What do you do when you're in a situation? I'm sorry, these cookies are just so bomb. But anyway, what do you do when you're in a situation, right? That's some good coffee. What do you do when you're in a situation that you shouldn't be in? I'm not mainly talking about like relationship. I mean, it could be a relationship, right? It could be a friendship. It could be your job. It could be a situation. But what do you do when you're in a situation that is not good for you? You should leave, but you don't. Okay? And, you come up with excuses, and you'll never leave. You'll stay in that situation. So, in this video, I want to tell you 10 excuses that if you tell yourself or that you say, chances are the situation that you're in, again, this could be a relationship, this could be a friendship, this could be a work situation, just be anything in life, right? So here are 10 excuses that you might use, or if you find yourself using these 10 excuses, the situation that you're in, it's probably not a good situation. So with that being said, let's get started, but before we get started, I'm going to get high today. I'm going to get high. I hope you're getting high. We're going to smoke, and so let me fire up my joint. Got my coffee right here, I mean, coffee and weed is it's like the best combination ever. I mean, I don't know who invented that, but I mean, if you put the two together, wow, that's a really great, amazing thing. So, let's talk about it. So, number one, let me tell you guys, number one, the number one excuse that you might use to not move on to bigger and better things is that you're comfortable. So the situation that you're in, you're comfortable, right? I mean, you're comfortable, you're complacent, you just really can't, you don't want to lose that comfortability, right? So you just, you're just gonna tell yourself whatever to kind of stay in the situation that you're in, right? So that's number one. I'll just kind of breeze through that. I mean, it kind of explains itself. You're comfortable. You're comfortable in the situation, in the environment, in your surroundings. And, when you're comfortable, you don't want to mess that up. You know what I mean? Number two. Wow, this is some good weed. Number two. You're afraid of the unknown. What do I mean by that? Fear. Your fear of, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what, is around the corner. When you get ready to leave in a situation and you don't know, like, hey, am I making the best choice? And that's one of the things that kind of prevent a lot of people from moving forward in life, because they're fear of the unknown. You don't know what to expect. You come up with all these, like, these scenarios you might run through your head. Me, for example, like, if I wanted to move to another state, now I don't know anyone in that state, right? I just get up and move. A part of me would say, hey, you should get up and go and see what's out there, and maybe there's new experiences, maybe there's new opportunities, but a lot of doubt, I guess. Doubt will start settling in, and it'll say, nah, you don't know nobody out there. What if it doesn't work out? You're stuck out there. So now I kind of talk myself from moving to another state, which moving to another state could be bigger and better opportunities. So again, the number two thing is you're afraid of the unknown. Okay, so these are, again, if you're just watching the video, these are 10 excuses that you might tell yourself to not prevent you from leaving the situation that you're in. Again, it could be a friendship, it could be a relationship, it could just be something at your job, it could just be your current surroundings, So number three is you don't think you'll do any better. You don't think there's nothing better for you out there. I'm gonna give you a prime example. When I was dating, I was with this one female, and she was cute. I'm not gonna lie, she was really cute. But the thing that kind of kept me, and but she was bad for me. She was bad on my mental. She was bad, for me physically, and she, emotionally, I guess. But yeah, she was just bad, and it was just, we was always fighting, and police was always getting involved. Her family would always get involved, and it was just a toxic situation. I mean, if you're in a toxic situation, that's not a good situation to be in. But it was a very toxic situation, and I knew I shouldn't be in that situation. I knew I wasn't going. This situation I was in with this person wasn't going to go anywhere. It wasn't going to last, right? So I knew I should have left. I knew I shouldn't stay there. I shouldn't be there, but I stayed. And one of the biggest reasons why I stayed is that I didn't think I would be able to find anyone better, whether better looking than this person. I just didn't think I would even find another relationship. Not saying that I really wanted a relationship, but I was fearful of that. So being fearful of that prevented me from moving forward and bettering myself. It caused me to stay in something I was familiar with, something I was comfortable with, And so, again, just being fear of not knowing what to expect. You don't know, if you take that leap, as a preacher may say, the leap of faith, right? So if you take that leap, you don't know if you're going to take a leap and you're going to fall off the cliff, if you're going to fall in a big pond of water and you drown, or you might land on solid ground. You just don't know, And so not knowing that will cause you to say, I don't know what's out there. I don't know if there's something better for me out there. What I'm with right now, it's a lot better, you know. And so that's something you might tell yourself. And so we're gonna move right along. Number four. Um, you're afraid, you know, you're afraid of what people or what others may think of you. You know, if you, again, if you're in a relationship or whatnot, and the person that you're leaving, you might be, you know, kind of, you don't want to hurt their feelings, you know? You want to kind of, you might not want to hurt their feelings. They might talk bad about you, you know, you're in your surrounding circle, you know, you need to maybe exit yourself from, you know, leave those people alone and move on to other things because these people aren't being productive, you know what I'm saying, and helping you grow as an individual, get you where you need to go. So maybe you need to find you a new circle. But these people, their opinion of you maybe holds weight, maybe you find value, maybe it means a lot to you. And no, you know, sometimes you're, you know, scared that, you know, their opinion of you isn't going to be good. So that may be something that you will tell yourself, you know, I don't want to upset nobody. I'm not trying to start trouble. I'm not trying to cause problems. This person's going to think this of me. This person might say that of me. You know, a lot of times people say, well, I don't care what people think of me. You know, I don't care what someone say. But when it comes down to it, you know, behind closed doors, a lot of times we do. Because we, you know, I mean, I don't know. A lot of times we do valid the opinions of others. What other people think of us, you know, a lot of times that do mean a lot, you know. And I mean, I know you should say you have your skin thick and you have your armor on and you have your shield on. But how we are perceived in society, I'm trying to sound educated here, I'm trying to sound smart, but how we are perceived in society among our peers, I guess, is a lot of times is very important because that holds weight. I mean, it really do. Even if you're a loner, you know, there's someone in life that you're gonna, that their opinion of you means a lot, whether it's your parents, whether it's your boss, whether it's your children, whether it's your whomever, but there's someone, you know, maybe there's an idol that you look up to, or not an idol, I'm sorry, I shouldn't use that word. Maybe there's a person you look up to and, you know, you would want to put a good impression of them. So again, just being afraid of what others may think of you. If you say, hey, I need to get myself away from this situation, you know, I need to better myself and, you know, move on. And so that could prevent you. I mean, you'll tell yourself, you know, hey, I don't want to cause any problems, so I just better just kind of toughen it out. You know what I'm saying? I just better toughen it out. So that's number 4. Number 5 is, you know, you may take, again, and these kind of all go hand in hand, you know. Number 5 is you take the path of the least resistance. You don't like anything hard, okay? You know, a lot of us don't like anything hard. A lot of us don't like things that, you know, because being hard is painful, you know, and we don't like to go through pain. So, you know, instead of things where, you know, you may have to struggle a little bit, maybe you have to bump your head, maybe you have to fall a few times, you know, that doesn't feel good for anyone. You know, starting over doesn't feel good. You know, example, if I move to a different place, I hate moving. You know, packing up and going to a different area and in a different environment, you know, I hate that. You know, I mean, I like to be settled in, and once I get in, I'm settled, you know. And so, again, you know, that's just human nature, right? So if we're faced with 2 choices, we're gonna take the one that doesn't seem hard. You know, I mean, that's a lot of times in life. You know, you'll go through life, myself included. You know, you're gonna go through life, and you know, instead of going down this road, yeah, the reward is greater, but it's gonna be harder to get that. You know, like for example, you know, a lot of times people will go to school and you'll go to school and you'll say, hey, I'm not gonna put 10, 12 years into education, but you know, if you go to school for 10, 12 years, you can come out making, you know, 6 figures. But you'll say, hey, I'll go to school for 2 years, and then you may come out making $20,000, you know, where you could have 10 times the amount, you know, if you spent a few more years. But it's more easier. And again, I'm not saying this is bad on anyone, you know, because if that's what you know, what you did, you know, I'm not judging anyone, but again, it may be a lot easier to get a 2-year degree versus getting your doctorates, or getting a master's degree, is what I'm saying. Or maybe it's easier to go apply for a job and get an entry level position instead of training yourself, to get you a higher position. It's much more easier. So again, the path of the least resistance, meaning that, again, it's more comfortable to be in this situation. I don't know what's out there, I don't know what others will think of me. Am I a fool or what? And so again, you're going to take the path that doesn't cause so much pain. So you'll tell yourself it's okay to be in the situation that I'm in now. So let's go on to number 6. Is it number 6? You worry about FOMO, fear of missing out. I think it's the word that people use. The fear of missing out. So you're worried that whatever situation that you're in, again, this could be relationship, this could be friendship, this could be work, this could be your surroundings. The whatever situation that you're in, you're fearful that they're going to move on without you. So for example, I'll go back to a relationship. So maybe you're with a person and you feel it's time to move on from this person, and you don't see any future with them. But then, when you get to that point where you're getting ready to move on, a part of you'll say, well, that person might find someone to replace me. And so you'll be like, well, I don't want this person to move on and find someone happy, and be happy. Or if you're at a job and the position you hold at your job and you say, well, I'm going to leave. I'm going to quit this job, I'm going to resign and move on. But the position that you hold, maybe you were the only person at your job doing that. But the position you hold, they're going to find someone else. Or maybe there's a person that you work with that's going to take your place when you leave. And you don't want that. You don't want someone to come in and take your place because they may do a better job than you. I'm not saying that is what will cause you to I'm high as fuck, I'm getting high and I lost my damn thought. Anyway, so that was number 6. I done lost my thought on that one. So number 7, we're gonna run through these here real quick. So number 7, you tell yourself it is better to be miserable than it is to be happy. And I'm gonna repeat that because I think that has a lot of emphasis. What I'm saying here. And again, I'm gonna say that you tell yourself it is better to be miserable than it is to be happy. And you keep telling yourself, hey, the situation I'm in is not so bad. Again, all of these situations or excuses that if you tell yourself, they all kind of run together. So again, you may say, hey, the job that I'm at is not so bad working here, because if I go out there and I quit this job, or I might get a job that, it pays a little more, but I don't like it, or if I quit this job and I might not be able to find a job that pays equal or more, or if I move out of this city, the city that I moved to, the jobs might not be plentiful there, the people might not be, the culture might not be, very diverse, or or whatever. Or whatever, it's just, and it's like, hey, this isn't so bad after when you sit down and think about it. It's not bad, but deep down in the back of your mind, that's not the case. The situation that you're in it's not good for you, for your health, for your finances, for your mind, so again, you tell yourself that, hey, it's where I'm at right now it's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. Okay, so you might tell yourself that. Number 7, you think you're gonna fail. You think you're not gonna succeed. A lot of times, what make people, I hear all the time, and I do this all the time. I do this a lot, and I'm very guilty of doing this. I'll come up with all these great ideas, I'll come up with these great ideas, and and they're not, in my mind, they're like $1 million ideas, right? Or I may come up with a story or something, and they're they're the greatest ideas, and And I'll get to thinking of how to get it in action. Maybe I come up with a business idea, and maybe I come up with some kind of invention or something in my mind. And it's time to set forth in action, right? It's time to make it happen. And then I get to thinking, I get overwhelmed. But what it all boils down to is I'm scared that I'm gonna fail. I'm scared that I'm not gonna be successful. So maybe I have this great idea to start a business, but I get to thinking, and then it's like, well, I gotta have this, and I gotta have that, and I gotta be this, and I gotta know about this, and I don't know anything about that, and because it's one of those things when you kind of find out about something, you start going more into it, you find out there's other little roads or other little things that comes into play that you just wasn't aware of. For example, maybe I had an idea to do a dispensary, right? I'm gonna start me a dispensary as a business. It's gonna have a delivery service, and it's gonna have a restaurant connected. But then I'll say, okay, it's time to set it in motion. But then I didn't know you have to have a license for food. You have to have a license for tobacco, license for weed. You got to get a permit from the city. For zone ordinance or whatever, and it's this, and you got to wait for that, and you got to have money, and the bank is not just going to give you the money and stuff. You don't realize all of those things, and then it becomes overwhelming, and then you think, wow, I had this idea, but I don't see myself being successful when you get to thinking about it. So what I'm saying is, and I'm just kind of carrying on or whatnot, but what I'm saying is that you may have all these great ideas. You'll have this idea that, hey, the situation that I'm in right now, I don't need to be in this situation. But then you get to thinking, you run all these scenarios, and then all these other scenarios or sub-scenarios pop up, and then you're like, it's too hard, it's too complicated, I'm just going to stick to where I'm at, okay? And again, it's easier, I'd rather be miserable than to be happy, or it's where I'm at, it's not so bad, okay? So again, you tell yourself that, hey, you're going to fail, and so, so you don't make an effort to move, or you don't make an effort to, again, get out of that situation. So here that was number 8. Number 9. So I guess this kind of be like pride or something like that, but you've invested too much of your time and money, and you don't want to just cut that loose. Again, I'm going to use a relationship, So there's a lot of times where maybe you get with a person, and I'll give you an example of a relationship that I was in. So I was dating a person, and and I was kind of leading with my wallet. I know they say that you should never lead with your wallet, but I was leading with my wallet, and and I was buying this person. I was trying to buy this person's love. I was trying to buy this person's affection. And I was just really, really trying to do for him. And this person would cheat on me every chance they got, right? It's just, it's just part of life. I'm not bitter about it, but they would cheat on me every chance they got, right? And I keep taking them back, and keep taking them back, and and they would just be blatant all in my face and stuff like that. And yeah, maybe I was whatever whatever, I don't know, whatever, don't judge me or nothing like that, but yeah, I would take them back, what I'm saying, and they just say, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, and they would maybe go a week or two, maybe a month or two go by, and things would be lovey-dovey, and then, it's on to, on to the next person. So, I was kind of silly and, whatever, and again, this is a situation that I knew I shouldn't have been in. It's not doing me any good. It's everything. But again, the reason why I stayed in that is because I spent too much money on this person. I put too much time. I've been spending years with this person. I can't just walk away from that. And it has to go with like pride and, I'm comfortable in this situation because this is who I know, I mean, maybe them cheating on me is not so bad, because it could be worse. I get out there and I don't have nobody to be with, but then I'm making excuses why I shouldn't leave when I know I should. But I'm making excuses, so I tolerated that. I put up with that, even if it made me look silly being with this individual, being with this female, and she was out doing her thing, and I'll just take it back. I'll take it open arms. Hey, it's like that show Casino, that movie Casino, and Robert De Niro, and he had his wife, and his wife would go out and cheat on him, and he always, she always come back after she run out of money or whatnot, and he'd be like, he used to take her back and stuff, and and they pretend to be like everything was cool. And that's how I was, I'd be like, okay, and I was just happy that she was around, I'll run behind her and stuff like that. But anyway, so I'll put too much money and too much time with this person to walk away. And sometimes you have to cut your losses short, right? So if something's draining you mentally, cut it loose. If something's draining you financially, cut it loose. If something's draining you emotionally, cut it loose. And because it might hurt in the short run, but in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, you'd be much more happier. And number 10, last but not least, procrastination. I am guilty of procrastination. I procrastinate on everything. Making this video, I procrastinated. Me smoking this weed, I procrastinate. I procrastinate a lot. Maybe that means I'm just lazy. Maybe it means I'm just not motivated. Maybe I'm not stimulated enough. But procrastination. And how does procrastination affect a person from bettering themselves? Well, let me give you a prime example. I'm going to use relationship. I know I keep... let me use another example then. Let's say you're at a job, right? And you know that your services has come, your relationship with this job, with this employer has come to the end. You can't get any further. You're not going to climb up you're not going to move up the corporate ladder. You're not going to move up in the company. You see that. You're going nowhere with the job you're at. There's no room for advancement. The pay is not going to increase anymore. The only thing that's increasing is your workload and your stress, that this job is causing. And you tell yourself, hey, there's got to be something better out there, right? And you say, hey, there's a job out there that not only pays more, but the stress level of working there is lower as well. I mean, it's lower, but the pay is higher, and the workload is not as bad. So you'll say, I'll go apply for a job. But when it comes to putting, action in motion, I'll do it tomorrow. Looking on job apps, I'll do it tomorrow. Updating your resume, I'll do it tomorrow. Making phone calls, I'll do it tomorrow. So everything puts off till tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll do it later. Maybe you need to update your wardrobe so you can look presentable for an interview. I'll do that later. And later never comes. And so before you know it, you wake up and you're like, wow, I'm still here. Nothing's changed. It's still the same thing. But so those are 10 things that you may tell yourself, you may think, and you need to leave the situation that you're in, but you're never going to leave. You're never going to leave because you give yourself those 10 reasons, 10 excuses that, hey, hey, just like I need to end this video, so that's what I'm going to do. I can't believe I'm still smoking this joint. This video lasted and I'm still smoking this joint, so, I guess I'm going to smoke the rest of this. I'm going to get high, smoke. I really do hope that, if you're watching this video, you watched it to the very end. Thank you for one. Number two, I hope that you're in a good situation. I hope you're in a good mind state. And, I hope you're happy. I hope whatever you're doing in life, You're happy because that's what it is at the end of the day. If you're in some kind of situation, again, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's your surroundings, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's your job. If you're not happy, if that job is emotionally draining you, if that relationship is emotionally draining, is financially draining you, if that friendship is